WHIO reports, taking a closer look at the races in the upcoming election. With us this morning, our panel of experts. Ellen Belcher, the editorial pages editor at the Dayton Daily News. Jim Barrett, the news director of WHIO Radio. Bill Hershey, longtime political expert, reporter at the Dayton Daily News, the Columbus Bureau. Now, the candidates for the U.S. Senate. That'll be your next focus here. They've just recently wrapped up a 3-debate schedule. Here's a clip from the debate number 2 in Cleveland. Both candidates talking about the number 1 issue in this race, jobs.
We should have a national job creation tax credit that says to a business, you want to create a job here, we're going to give you a tax credit, exactly what we've done here in Ohio, but there isn't anything on the national level. Our priorities are upside down and inside out. I want to see the words again, made in America.
Ohio's falling behind. 400,000 jobs have been lost in the last 4 years. Our unemployment has nearly doubled. We lost jobs last month in the state of Ohio. We're losing businesses to other states. Some of the best and brightest young people in Ohio are leaving our state.
Lobbyists can afford to play.
And so that's your debate between the U.S. Senate candidates, and that debate focused on a lot of issues that have been not only mentioned at that debate, but also number 1 and number 3, and out on the campaign trail. It seemed to me as though it was pretty much the same message all the way along, and not very many surprises. Your impressions, Bill?
No surprises. The problem Lee Fisher has is a debate is the best exposure he has as a candidate to get his jobs message out. He's had just 1 TV commercial, whereas Portman has had 6 or 7, hammering away at his visions for creating jobs. And unless Fisher gets more exposure, I don't think he's going to get much traction with voters.
Is that a money thing? Is that because Portman's fundraising has been just dramatically better than Fisher's? Is that it, Ellen?
I think that plays a big part in it, but I also, and this is just a theory, but I also think that Lee Fisher and Rob Portman are 2 of the best people in each of their respective parties. They're smart, they're competent, they've been around, they know how to run campaigns, they know how to raise money. I think Mr. Fisher is paying a price for the state of the economy, and the fact that Fisher is so far behind Portman as compared to Strickland and Kasich. One theory that I have is that people are making a distinction between what's happening at the national level and the state level. I'm not sure that Ohioans blame the governor for everything that's happening in Ohio at the level they're blaming the national government, whether it's Congress, whether it's the Senate, whether it's Barack Obama. But, I mean, I don't think that Ted Strickland is such a powerful, brilliant campaigner that you can explain the fact that he's neck and neck with Kasich and there's such a difference between Fisher and Portman, because Portman wasn't that well known around the state. Lee Fisher's run statewide before, but he's so far behind, both on money, both on name, or in the polls. I just think that that's potentially one explanation.
And Jim, this is one of those races that almost defies logic. You have a guy who was running for I said this last week in the program, a guy who has been running for the U.S. Senate since he started there. Mm-hmm. He's always wanted to be in the U.S. Senate. He wanted to be in the U.S. Senate when he was back in the state Senate, before he ran statewide.
Right. I think there's 2 things at play here for Lee Fisher. Number 1, he still has a hangover from that battle with Jennifer Brunner. I think that hurt.
Yeah,
I think the image hurt. And number 2 on that is the fact that he had to spend money to win that race, and that money can't be spent this fall on advertising. And then the other part about this is I think that voters, when they take a look at these 2 gentlemen, you're talking about Rob Portman and Lee Fisher, Portman has more of a national image, in my opinion, because of what he did in the Bush administration. And so I think when people take a look at the 2 candidates, and if you find them equal in every other way, your feeling might be.
But I think that national image is with insiders. I'm not sure it's with the average voter on the street.
Or could it come back to haunt him?
Yeah.
Could it be used against him?
And Lee Fisher has not been very effective at doing that. But I don't think Rob Portman was widely known around Ohio for good or for bad.
He was unknown, except for the insiders. But I get back to the money. He had nearly 7 times as much money on hand as Lee Fisher did, as Portman did. Lee Fisher was ahead several months ago. People had never heard of Rob Portman. They know him now. His plaid shirts and his blue jeans, they're all over television, right, as much as Dancing with the Stars. I mean, he might be just as well Dancing with his wife. He probably has enough money for a TV ad showing that.
Okay, let's move on very quickly to